Hey, I'm Laura, and these are the 10 most common homeschooling questions. Question number 1. You must be really smart since you homeschool, right? Well, I mean, kinda. But the truth is, I don't know everything, even though sometimes I like to act like it. But just because I teach my kids doesn't mean I remember every detail of every subject in the 16 years I spent in the school system. I don't think anybody does. The good news is, you don't need to. While the primary years are easy to me, my high schooler subjects can sometimes pose a little bit of a challenge. Just because I got an A in geometry in 10th grade doesn't mean I remember how to do circle theorems or solve linear equations. In these instances, I just get on Google and relearn it along with my son, if I even need to do that. Sometimes he self-starts and just figures it out himself. Everything you need to know, you can figure out on the internet, which truthfully is another reason traditional school is obsolete in my opinion. Second question, how do you know what to teach them? Well, I do some research before I start each semester as to what classes or choice of classes that my kids have the option of taking. And then I add to that or alter it a bit. For example, the 6th grade curriculum in my state did not have any US history in it. And I think as an American, my kids should learn the history of our country first. So I made an adjustment there. Elementary school and junior high school planning is pretty much a breeze once you start to focus on it, but high school does get trickier, especially with college requirements as part of the equation. The way I work with my plans is that on Sunday nights, I do the first 2 days of my children's agendas for each of my boys for the week. And then I adjust from there for the following days based on what we've actually accomplished each day. And I will admit, I'm a little overzealous with what I think that they can get done versus what they actually do get done. But we can always make adjustments because we're on our time and it's a beautiful thing. Question number 3. Your kids must be really well behaved, huh? Well, we have good days and bad days. Mostly good though. And besides the bickering during Spanish, which is the only class they truthfully have to sit side by side in, they're learning a great deal of discipline with what they need to accomplish every day, and they're also becoming self-starters, which is yet another benefit of homeschooling. 4th question. You must be really organized, right? Well, in theory, I know exactly how to be organized. Folders, binders, containers, all clearly labeled with my P-touch, but really I don't do any of that. There's sometimes beauty in chaos, I think. In actuality, I have mostly everything I need in one closet. My computer is very organized and I have my desktop set up so that way I can find the things that I'm looking for rather quickly. However, there's always the time that I'm looking for papers or information and there's a running list of grades that I need to enter into their records and I feel a little unorganized. Number 5, are there organized homeschool activities? Do your kids get to see other people? Do they play with kids their age? Yes, yes, and yes. I recently put out an entire video called But What About Socialization? Check it out at the end of this video. Question number 6, do your kids get recess? Well, it really depends on what you think recess is. I think if you consider it a break from schoolwork, they probably get more recess than most kids their age. There's breakfast, there's lunch. My kids have it really good for lunch, by the way. They get fresh air breaks. They can come on me to run an errand break. They can take bathroom breaks without a hall pass. Kind of nice. They can pee at their own free will. And they can just take a little break to do something else. They know what they have to get done during the day, and they're responsible for it. Question number 7. Do your kids get homework, and how are they graded? Well, since I'm homeschooling, it's all homework, right? They have a set amount of work to get done each day, like I said before, and they work until they finish. So there isn't homework per se, but there really doesn't need to be. Homeschooling is a completely different animal than traditional school, and that's the beauty of it. You can make it into being what you want it to be. As far as grades go, some people use them, some don't. I personally do because I find it's a good way of keeping my boys accountable and giving them a sense of accomplishment, and I also think that it makes them work a little harder. My children are also a little bit older and their grades are starting to count towards college now, so I need to have some accurate depiction of what they have been doing during their 4, 5, 6 years with me. What about testing? That's question number 8. Well, we definitely have tests in all of our subjects, and my kids participate in annual state-mandated tests. A lot of people don't do that or don't like it. I truthfully don't love it either, but I don't think it's really a big deal to me because there's no pressure involved in this. We're just basically getting a gauge of where they stand against kids that are in traditional school. And truthfully, a little known fact is that homeschooler kids average higher. Question number 9, what about college? I used to worry about how my kids would adjust from homeschooling to going to college. But now that I see how my children are learning, their sense of independence, their comfort level with everything that they encounter, they handle it with grace and intelligence and comfort level that's really unmatched. All of my fears have gone away. Last question, question number 10. Can I homeschool someone else's kids? When people see what my boys are doing and how knowledgeable and well-adjusted they are, many people ask if I will take on homeschooling their kids as well. Well, the truth is I would if I could. I love it and I see how it benefits my own children, and I want to do the same for my family and friends. But I would like to have a social life. I like to play tennis. I work, believe it or not, a few jobs, and I don't think it's a really good idea if I want to remain sane. So that's about it. That's my world. But homeschooling is very individualized, which is the very point of homeschooling. And I am sure you can relate to many of these questions or even have them yourself. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button to keep these videos coming to you each week. Also give it a like while you're at it. And I'd love to hear from you, hear what your questions are, hear what questions you've been asked. And so leave a comment too. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye. All I need to know is why my neighbor needs to be mowing his lawn right now.